following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out.
Believe it.
Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader in the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
If you are a woman's best option, she is going to be sweet as pie. She is going to be putting in effort. She is going to be sexually available. She is going to be gentle, patient, easygoing. This is the type of relationship that a lot of guys are looking for, and it does not require work. On the other hand, if she is difficult or distant or inconsistent or impatient or demanding or whatever, it's almost always because she believes that she could do better. Maybe she had a better option in the past who may not have wanted the kind of relationship that she did. Maybe she is comparing herself to her friends or social media, or maybe she's just delusional about her value and expectations. The reason doesn't really matter. The upshot is that you're not going to have a good time, and you'll be putting in more and more effort for smaller and smaller returns. The smart move is to select women who understand that they're lucky to be there. Anything less is a job.
What? Hey. Oh, play it one more time. Can we? Listen, the voice of reason is in the building tonight. And what's crazy is a brother at the cigar lounge gave me this topic today. He said a lot of women nowadays don't feel lucky to be with a guy, a good guy, a quality guy, because they have so many options. And I said to him, well, what if, just because you have a lot of options doesn't mean that the options are good options. But what he said, but the caveat is they have comparable options. I said, well, those are lateral moves. You know, because if you move up, there's a different level of expectation. So he was like, yo, I'm going to give you some questions. And I said, well, here we go. And then, now I'm hip to this, the guy that we just played. I'm hip to his channel, his YouTube channel. And he plays a lot of interesting stuff, or he has a lot of interesting perspectives. And the guy sent me that clip. I said, yo, you hip to this dude? He was like, yeah. I said, all right, I'm hip to him too. Let me look at the clip. I watched the clip and I said, a very interesting perspective. So I want to play the clip one more time because I want you guys to soak in what was said. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite you into this national discussion to get your perspective on it. Play it again, Andy.
If you are a woman's best option, she is going to be sweet as pie. She is going to be putting in effort. She is going to be sexually available. She is going to be gentle, patient, easygoing. This is the type of relationship that a lot of guys are looking for, and it does not require work. On the other hand, if she is difficult or distant or inconsistent or impatient or demanding or whatever, it's almost always because she believes that she could do better. Maybe she had a better option in the past who may not have wanted the kind of relationship that she did. Maybe she is comparing herself to her friends or social media, or maybe she's just delusional about her value and expectations. The reason doesn't really matter. The upshot is that you're not going to have a good time, and you'll be putting in more and more effort for smaller and smaller returns. The smart move is to select women who understand that they're lucky to be there. Anything less is a job.
Okay, so here's my take real quick before I get into my questions and framing up the topic. Good people should be lucky that they found each other. I'm going to say that off rip. Good people should be lucky that they found each other. Because what's deep is the way American culture is set up. You've heard me talk about a toxic society. You've heard me talk about a materialistic, transactional society, right? So what happens is men with options typically are men with resources, right? Just because a man has options and resources doesn't mean he's a good man. So now the question becomes, if you find a good man, which, by the way, does not mean he isn't a work in progress or a flawed man or a man with internal issues that he still has to work on. But if you find a good man who just so happens to have resources, you should consider yourself lucky. And I would say vice versa, right? If a brother, a man with resources, finds a work in process, that is a work in progress, a whip, that is a sister, she's still a human being, she still got her own issues and whatever, but she's a good woman, right? She's kind, she's nurturing, she's considerate, she's respectful, and she too has resources. He should consider himself lucky as well. This leads me into tonight's topic. I want to know your perspective and your opinions tonight. You already know this is a non-judgmental space. Non-judgmental space. I need you guys to call in and share your thoughts from all over the country. I want to hear from some of my favorites, but I also want to hear from the City of Angels during this rainy night. I want to hear from the City of Angels. Get to your phone lines. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Tonight's topic, she got hoptions, not options, hoptions. Because if she got options, believe me, she's going to hop from option to see, to gauge. We got options, right? Isn't that what we do when we have a lot of options? We hop from option to see, you know, which one is the best suited for us. She got options. If her interest slows up, it could be because a better option showed up. How to call a relationship audible. Ooh, Lord. Is it possible to be someone's best option within an intimate relationship? True or false, if he or she is constantly checking out other people or flirting with others in front of you, it could be a sign that he or she is not fully committed to the relationship. 1-800-920-1580. True or false, if he or she frequently cancels plans or is always busy with other things, it may indicate that he or she is prioritizing other options over you. True or false, if he or she is constantly talking about other potential partners or exes, it could be a sign that he or she is not fully invested in the current relationship. What do you think about these questions? Aren't we options to everybody? Uh-oh. I don't want. I'll wait before I start pontificating. I'm sorry. I'll wait. True or false? If he or she is always seeking validation and attention from others, it may suggest that he or she is not satisfied with the attention they receive from you. Now, we talked about priorities the other night, Monday. Priorities. Now we're talking about options. If you're a priority, that means somebody is always trying to do something to make the relationship work, but they don't really want it to work. They just try, right? And if they try, I guess that's enough, right? A priority. But tonight, are you a option? True or false? If he or she is constantly comparing you to other people or making you feel inadequate, it could be a sign that he or she is looking for someone better. Can I ask the question tonight? Is the grass greener? How often is the grass greener than where you're standing currently? 1-800-920-1580. I just threw that. I want to know what y'all think. True or false, if he or she is easily swayed by the opinions or advances of others, it may suggest that he or she lacks a strong sense of self and is easily influenced by external factors. Goodness gracious. What do y'all think about these questions? These questions crazy, right? We got options. If he or she, or if her interest, or if his or her interest slows up, it could be because a better option has showed up. Are we really, let me just ask, in 2023, and I need to talk to Andy on this. Andy, in 2023, are we really trying to be someone's choice? Someone's best choice?
Yeah.
Why? I'm just asking.
I think it's an ego thing. You know what I'm saying? We want to be number one always, at all times. Nobody else. Just me.
I could smoke a bag of that. Hey!
Me too.
Andy is out here preaching the gospel of the Lord this evening. But shouldn't you choose me for me and not you? Because if I am your best option, would that mean you are choosing me for yourself as opposed to choosing me for us, Andy?
Repeat that one more time.
I'm just saying. People choose what's best for them. So if they're choosing a person as quote unquote the best option, are they choosing that person for us or are they choosing that person for themselves?
Well, for themselves, because get to us when she probably doesn't know me like that yet? It's gonna take some time for it to get to us.
So you okay with being her best option?
Oh man, I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask. I feel like, you know, at a time when I was single, you know, OT Genesis, he has a line in one of his songs called Bay, where he talks about being the side dude. And I think, I can't speak for all men, but I don't think we had a problem being a choice or an option for that matter.
Back in the day.
Just
as long as we scored.
Absolutely, 100%.
I see what you mean. Hey. In today's transactional and materialistic society, the dynamics of intimate relationships have become increasingly complex. On tonight's show, we endeavor to explore the concept of hypergamy as well as Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power to shed light on the impact of having many options in relationships. Additionally, tonight's show will try to address the questions posed, aiming to provide a logically well-balanced and intellectually sound and psychologically and clinically in-depth analysis. Ooh, Lord, we about to get deep. I'm opening up the phone lines early if you want to call in and share your thoughts. Please do so. I have so much more to talk about, but the number to dial to bring your city into this national conversation is 1-800-920-1580.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
It can feel very weird and a bit threatening to talk about taking the pressure off a relationship. Our collective inherited romantic culture likes to imagine functioning couples doing more or less everything together and being the center of each other's lives. The good couple is, we're told, one in which two people mean more or less everything to one another. In a sound relationship, we're supposed to meet each other's needs in every area of existence, from sex to intellectual stimulation, cooking styles to bedroom habits. We're supposed to lead our social life in tandem, be the primary sounding board for one another's problems, and complete each other in spirit and in matter. If they're involved in a sport, we should at once join in, or at least come along and support them every weekend. If we want to visit a particular country, they're supposed to trot along enthusiastically with us. Our friends are meant to be their friends. It all sounds sweet, but it is, over the long term, a recipe for disaster. No two people can ever match each other across all areas of existence, and the attempt to do so inevitably ushers in bitterness and rage. We have, at the collective level, given ourselves a hugely unhelpful picture of how love should go. Any independent move is read like a sign that we can't actually love one another. It's taken to be evidence of imminent danger if we visit other countries on our own or sleep apart. So we end up badgering each other to do things that we don't really like. We force each other to endure tedious hobbies or see each other's peculiar old friends. Not even because we inherently want to do so, but simply because any other arrangement has come to seem like evidence of betrayal. A more realistic and, in the proper sense, romantic view of couples would suggest that there do have to be a few strong areas where we meet each other's needs, but there should also be plenty of others where we're clearly better off pursuing our goals on our own. Consider the following list of independent activities and give them stars from 1 to 5 if they strike you as relevant. I'd like to travel without my partner, have dinner one-to-one with a friend, be able to go to a party without my partner and not have them feel left out, visit my parents alone, have my own financial advisor, go for long walks on my own, have a separate bathroom, go shopping with a friend rather than with my partner. Look at each other's stars and lists. Is there anything that you feel you could accommodate? We should recognize that a degree of independence isn't an attack on a partner. It's a guarantee of the solidity of the underlying commitment one has made. Truly stable couples aren't those that do everything together. It's those that have managed to interpret their differences in non-dramatic and non-disloyal terms. Ultimately, a reduction of dependence doesn't mean a relationship is unraveling. It means that we have learned to focus more clearly and intently on what the other person can actually bring us, and have stopped blaming them for not being someone they never were.
Wow.
We no longer need to be.
That was heavy. That's heavy. And I'm going to tell you why. We might accuse our partner of engaging in their various options. If they're at a space and time in their lives where they're locked into their independence, they're locked into their me time, we might see that as, or our insecurity may see that as, oh, you got something else going on, right? Again, here's my true or false question, right? True or false, if he or she is always looking for excitement and novelty in relationship, it could be a sign that he or she is not satisfied with the stability and security you provide. Maybe it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes our insecurity answers questions that really our clear mind, our objective mind should be able to answer. But if you've been through some things, you might feel some kind of way. But let's not forget, we live in a toxic society. People tend to not take this society's toxicity level serious. But you should. Hypergamy and power dynamics. Hypergamy refers to the tendency of individuals, particularly women, to seek partners of higher social status or resources, right? In a transactional society where materialistic values are emphasized, hypergamy can influence one's interest in a potential significant other. The desire for better options can lead to a consistent evaluation of alternatives, potentially impacting commitment levels within a relationship. Look at that. Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. Greene's 48 Laws of Power provides insights into power dynamics within relationships. While some of these laws may seem manipulative, understanding them can help individuals navigate the complexities of modern relationships. Applying these laws can help individuals maintain their power and influence, ensuring they maintain a desirable option. They remain a desirable option for their partner. When we come forward, we're going to tap into what Robert Greene thinks about all of these options and how actually they may break down modern day relationships.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The mother of a 6-year-old Virginia boy who shot his teacher learned her fate today in federal court. Prosecutors say Deja Taylor's son climbed on a dresser, grabbed a gun from her purse, and took it to Rich Neck Elementary in Newport News the next morning, where he shot Abby Zwerner as she taught class. Taylor, who was black, pleaded guilty to charges related to the shooting over the summer. Now she's been sentenced to 21 months in prison. Taylor has a hearing next month on the charges the state filed against her. Memphis police say new officers are being hired, but they still have a shortage. Black Chief C.J. Davis spoke this week at the Memphis Rotary and said the department is close to 2,000 officers, which is nearing the goal of having 2,500 officers patrolling Memphis. Police data shows more than 21,000 arrests have taken place in the city from the beginning of the year through October. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Staples Holiday Deals mean amazing savings for the holiday season on hot tech like laptops, game systems, earbuds, and more. Right now, save up to $350 on select PCs. In-store only. Offer ends 11/18. See an associate for details. Have yourself a merry little holiday deal at Staples.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Thinking about hosting a podcast and don't know where to start? Morris Media Studios has you covered. We're a professional podcast and voiceover studio located in Leimert Park. We specialize in recording and live streaming audio and video podcasts. Let us help you set up, record, and distribute your podcast. Hosting a podcast is a great way to bring awareness to your business, product, or good cause. For more info, visit morrismediastudios.com or give us a call at 323-815-4204.
Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now there are medicines that can treat COVID, whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Discover, this is Danny.
Hi, it's Jen Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? 'Cause everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Just had a fight with my woman over something trivial told. We rarely have confrontation, and if the I said really was bold, I think she get it from my mama. Her bitterness passed down from old. When I'm calling out her drama, she too defensive to listen. I'll call so. Look at me, I got problems. You got the type of advice that I need. I couldn't get through on the Legend series. Dana was hard enough the time that I need. Between working or being so clingy, plus the time zone difference don't make it more easy. So I figured I'd call in early. Turn my life down, mercy, I got through. You tuned in, yeah. So just lay back your mind. So everybody tuning in to soul. Cause he is
Brainy Dose presents 13 Things Women Do That Push Men Away. Let's begin by saying that generally, no one sets out to sabotage their relationship. Most of us have the best intentions. We want things to work out, and we try to be the perfect partner. We put our hearts on the line and invest ourselves fully, expecting a positive outcome, although that's not always how things turn out. It seems like men and women have entirely different mindsets when it comes to love and relationships. Something mundane that seems reasonable or even expected behavior for a woman might be a total deal breaker for a man. In today's video, we're going to focus on some of the biggest mistakes women make that push men away. Number 1, overanalyzing. One of the biggest mistakes women make is overanalyzing everything. Men usually say and do things without overthinking every move or word, while women can spend hours analyzing the nuances in every statement or act. Yeah, it's hard not to overthink everything when you just start seeing someone, since you don't know how the other person thinks or where they stand. However, overanalyzing everything a guy says and does is going to make you come across a bit obsessive. There's no need to blow things out of proportion if he texts you a little less than the day before, or when he responds a little later than usual. Constantly obsessing over the small stuff and confronting him about things that seem suspicious to you is a surefire way to make things uncomfortable, fast. Number 2, not giving enough space. You can't really blame a guy for wanting some space. You're probably the same way too, to some degree. Yes, there are a lot of guys who want more space so they can have their cake and eat it too, but the majority of them aren't like that. Most guys simply just want some space to be on their own or to hang out with their buddies. They don't want to feel imprisoned. It's rather stressful to a guy when his partner thinks that he's being selfish or that he's...
Okay. Some of it is good, some of it ain't. Okay? Some of the relationship talk be childish. Some of it does. And the space part is, I get the space part. That's, yes. You know, togetherness and closeness, you know, it makes a healthy relationship, right? Healthy separate time and healthy togetherness time, all of that makes it good. I get that. But maintaining options while you're in a relationship, right? Can you be somebody's best option? Well, that means you would have had to be in some type of competition, maybe unbeknownst to you, right? If you come to the surface as the best available option, that means somebody was weighing their options. And in this context, weighing their options means comparing you against others. Am I better off with this person or not? Some people say that's pretty smart to do. Well, I beg to differ. Why? Because of where we live, because of how we live, how we relate. It's rare to find a self-aware human being. It's rare to find an accountable human being. It's rare to find a human being that has several trophies in their spirit trophy case that signify internal victories over their own demons. It's rare to find those kind of people. So a lot of these rules apply to people that are really out here playing the game, which is why they have options, which is why they maintain options. Have you ever been in a relationship with a person that always had another person adjacent, just over here in the corner, kicking it, waiting for the put me in coach person? What would you say? Oh, that's my friend. Oh, that's my friend. It's a real situation out here in these streets. That's why I love integrating Robert Greene into today's topic. In the realm of human relationships, the interplay between hypergamy and the principles outlined in Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power unfold a complex tapestry that weaves through the psychological, emotional, and spiritual dimensions of individuals. Hypergamy, the tendency to seek a partner of higher social standing, and Greene's laws, strategies that they call them, for navigating power dynamics intersect in a dance that influences human connections on a profound level. Hypergamy, often dissected in the context of romantic relationships, echoes an innate drive for evolutionary advantage. Are we really getting into relationships because we want the upper hand? We want some type of advantage? Yeah. Yeah. It's a socio-biological inclination where individuals seek partners who provide enhanced resources, security, and/or status. In this pursuit, Greene's law, derived from historical observations and timeless wisdom, serve as a guide to understanding and harnessing the power dynamics in diverse social settings. Law number 1, never outshine the master, resonates with the cautionary aspect of hypergamy. How so? When engaging in relationships, whether personal or professionals, individuals must be mindful of not overshadowing their partner or associates. In this context, or in the context of hypergamy, the fear of being outshone might lead to a delicate balance where one's brilliance is subtly expressed, allowing the partner to maintain a perceived superior position. So what is that saying? Don't outshine your dude? Or he gonna look for his other options? Many women have told me they can't really show their true intelligence around men because men don't like to be told things. That's what I've heard. I could be wrong. Never outshine the master. How many sisters have to quiet their intelligence? Have to shut it down in the presence of not only they dude, but dudes in general. Definitely at work. Show your boss up. Show your boss they wrong in front of everybody. Don't you also have to do that with your man? Because you kind of emasculate him if you don't let him have a win. Because, you know, men like to fix everything, right? You say, sir, you're going about that all wrong. You have no idea what you're doing. He gonna feel some kind of way, right? Never outshine the master in your relationship. And I guess if you do that, It will cause him to tap into his little toolbox of options. I need to know, ladies and gentlemen. You know your relationships are a struggle. Talk to me tonight. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, I'm going to go into more of Robert Greene's kind of juxtaposition here of how we create and maintain these options because of the little things we do to each other in intimate relationships.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Beloved Entertainment presents Sweet Spot Live with me, Angelique Francis, at the beautiful Miracle Theater at 226 South Market Street in Inglewood on Sunday, November 19th at 6 p.m. Join me with KBLA for short stories told live on stage with us, by us. Yes, our own storytellers straight from the neighborhood. Colorful and provocative live storytelling event celebrating our unique culture, our strength, our courage, our faith, and yes, our fire. We invite you to walk with us through the neighborhood, even run with us down our dark alleys if you dare. Just around the corner, there is laughter, unspeakable pain, secrets never told. But don't worry. The door is unlocked and we're going to leave the porch light on. That's Sunday, November 19th at the Miracle Theater, 226 Market Street in Inglewood, 6 p.m. Yes, it is all happening right here in the Sweet Spot. Tickets available, sweetspotlive.eventbrite.com, sweetspotlive.eventbrite.com. We got a lot to talk about.
Ask any former youth in foster care what they missed most while growing up, and they will most likely answer, someone to show me unconditional love. Now, isn't that something we all wished we could experience? Here in Los Angeles, up to 40% of homeless youth on our streets identify as LGBTQ+. The most prevalent reason for homelessness among this population is the rejection they've experienced from their own families. The LA County Department of Children and Family Services and Raise a Child are searching for safe, nurturing, and affirming foster parents within our community willing to stand up and serve all children and youth in foster care, especially LGBTQ youth. Learn the many benefits to becoming a foster parent. Attend a free Raise a Child virtual or in-person informational event to learn more. RSVP now at raiseachild.org. That's raiseachild.org. And thank you.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it. Together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
You want some more? It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Legendary Stevie Wonder. My playlist is my co-host. You heard from The Emotions, Best of My Love. And now we go into Higher Ground by Stevie Wonder. You already know what it is. Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, is on fire tonight. We're talking about options. Options that keep us hopping around. Why do I have these kind of conversations? Because I keep trying to push the narrative that relationships are more spiritual than they are social. Or at least they should be. But the reality of it is, many of us play these games. We maintain options, what I like to call hoptions, where we keep hopping around from person to person because we haven't really done any self-work. And tonight, we are integrating many different facets from Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power, concepts around hypergamy, why people would have options. That's why we played the clip earlier today where, what's my man's name? I forgot my guy's name. The first clip we played him twice. But we have several clips from him tonight. We'll get his name and give you his name. But he was basically saying in the first clip that if a woman pulls away from you, that if a woman is difficult with you, argumentative with you, doesn't give you any of her cookie, as he said, especially if you guys spend a lot of time together. She's pulled that off the table as well. He said typically women do that because they have a better option in place. Interesting. Robert Greene's law number 15 says crush your enemy totally. Introducing an interesting dynamic to hypergamy. In the pursuit of an elevated social standing, individuals may perceive others as potential threats or competitors. Is this why people are jealous and you get with somebody and they be on your social media to make sure that nobody else is stalking you or following you or commenting or liking? They want to crush the competitors. Crush your enemy totally. Law 15, right? Hypergamy, while driven by a fear of being surpassed, can trigger Machiavellian strategies to eliminate perceived threats. The intricate dance between seeking a higher status and neutralizing potential rivals reflect the psychological complexities inherent in power dynamics. So are we saying that if I choose you as my best option, I also have to make sure that I'm your best option by eliminating my competition? How do I do that? Well, in this type of society, bigger and better things. More money, more cars, more bling, more flash, more, right? Do you see what I'm laying down here right now? What we do to maintain. Nobody says more empathy, more compassion, more understanding, more love. Let me tell you something. In this society, all that stuff is deemed as soft for many people. Do you know how often I talk to people on a regular basis? And when you start to introduce higher concepts of relating, like empathy, like understanding, like caring, like consideration, they go, oh yeah, but you can't do that forever. How long you supposed to sit there and take this mess? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying the average person will say, yeah, you do that until they start taking advantage of that. That's because we live in a dog-eat-dog society. And offering grace and compassion and understanding to a person is almost like setting yourself up for failure. It's almost like you look like a relationship Vic, like they're about to come rob you. Oh, this is a goofy out here. I've heard the term game goofy. Oh, he game goofy. He finna get taken. Do you understand what I'm saying? Crush your enemy totally. We got callers on the line. Let me get them in here. This is why we got so many options, yo. This is why there's so many options out there, because nobody trusts, or most people don't trust anybody. Let's get it. Attila from Houston, Texas, you're on the line first. Talk to us.
Uncle Zoe, what's up?
Hey.
How are you?
I'm alive and well. How are you?
I'm well. All right, so I just got a few things to say about outshining the master. That works in the workplace quite well because you don't really have a whole lot of options there. I feel like within relationships, when you're trying to get to know the human being that you're dealing with, not so much. If I can outshine you, you're not the master in that area.
Ooh.
And either you just accept that, or it's going to be a constant space of conflict. And the thing is, there's going to be stuff where you're the master in that area and I'm not. So I don't necessarily understand this need to try and be the master of all things. You know, jack of all trades and master of none. So to me,
I will say,
chill out.
I will say this though: as an intelligent black woman, has your intelligence served as like this perfume that pulls men in, or has it served as somewhat of a skunk repellent that push men away? Because I watch men get a little funny style when a woman is too articulate and too intelligent. What are your thoughts?
I would say both. I mean, for the men that I ended up in relationships with, obviously it was a perfume. And for those that it didn't work, it didn't work. But I don't dim my light for anybody. I spent way too much time doing that with narcissistic family members. So I don't really see the need to do that in relationships. Now, that doesn't mean that I constantly put my intellect on a pedestal. I'm not going to constantly check you. I think there's a way to do certain things. But I do feel like a lot of this hopping, as you say, happens because of insecurity. If you're not secure within yourself and you're not secure with where you stand with that person, then yeah, that might cause you to hop and think that the grass is greener on the other side or whatever. And one thing, so when Andy brought up this situation, I thought it was interesting because I think a lot of men see women or see how they look or how they carry themselves and think that she may have more options than she actually does. And, you know, for a woman that's looking for value, for quality, she could have 50 dudes trying to hit her up. It doesn't matter. You might actually be that one person where she's like, I feel like I can connect with this guy. So to pull back, for me, that would just signal, oh, he don't really like me like that, right? Like, and first of all, let me just say this too. I'm not the type of person to even put that whole relationship thing on the table first. I wait for men to do that for the simple fact of situations like this. It's the same thing where if you sleep with the guy too early and then he turns around and questions, well, is she, you know, is she sleeping with all these guys? Is she da-da-da? Because, you know, like it almost strikes a certain level of insecurity, even though they had a part to play in you playing the role that you played.
Wait, hold on, Attila, you cooking. Girl, you and Emerald Lagasse, y'all out here cooking. Hold tight when we come forward. More from Houston, Texas.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton here